That was aggressive.
Action.
We're back. This is video 3 of our Ultralight off-road rooftop tent trailer build.
Holy crap.
I know.
That's a mouthful.
It's becoming a lot.
Building the trailer.
We're building a trailer. If you haven't seen the other 2 videos, there is a playlist. You can go back and watch that. But today is the exciting part. We've got the chassis built. We've got the suspension on already. This is the upper frame that we're going to bolt on top of the chassis. So we've got all the tubes cut. We've got the angles cut. I didn't film too in depth with that. Figure you guys have already seen that before. So now it's just putting this together. I think today we are going to tack it together and maybe test fit it.
Might as well.
And kind of explain to you how we're putting the aluminum frame onto the steel chassis.
We're waiting for stuff from the laser supplier. We don't have a laser table here, so
Yeah.
I outsource the laser stuff, but there's gonna be a big plate that this gets welded to, so all we can do is test fit until that plate comes in.
But then it makes our job easier for when it does come in, so.
Yeah. Theory is if you were to ever roll this thing off-road, you could just unbolt the top structure and order another one and bolt it on.
Yes.
So that's why we're doing it in 2 steps.
Yeah, very user-friendly. So,
It's like a kit car.
yeah, kind of like a kit car, but a kit trailer.
Yeah.
DIY-ish. So we'll start tacking this up and take you along for the ride. So what's your game plan here, Steven?
I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
I figure we make each wall flat on the table, and then we'll put the bars across. We'll stand the walls up, put the bars across to make
cross rails,
like a box.
Yep.
And then set the whole thing on the trailer and see if your maths.
See if I did all the cutting, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, you had the smart end of the measuring tape. So.
Yeah. Turned out pretty well with the chassis, so see what happens. There's a few things that we kind of overlooked in the design, because this was all designed on CAD first, like this back corner. Here, we're gonna have to do some jimmy rigging and make it all work.
Why?
Well, not so much there, more so we'll have to cut the front down. Because when we first measured this out, we measured it with this end being flat, and then we realized we had to cut it on an angle. So now
that's just got to go down.
Yeah, now that tube's too short.
Three-quarters of an inch.
Yeah, small oversight, but we can remedy that pretty easily. So yeah, we're gonna build the 2 side rails first, the big flat walls, and then these are mostly cross rails to go across to support it, and then I think a middle rail and a fender rail.
Door bar and stuff.
Yeah, so build the walls and then stand them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bringing out the big cart.
I'm a welder. I stick metal together. So the chassis we MIG welded. Well, there's a little bit of TIG, couple welds, but all the aluminum we're gonna TIG weld the aluminum. I'm gonna use 5553 filler. Either that. I might go 4043. Depends
For all of
on
you
if there's
fabricator nerds out there.
Depends on if there's spots I'm gonna see. The 5000 series gets really shiny and pretty.
Ooh.
But the 4000 series is a little more ductile and bendy. So it's, we'll see. And then, TIG weld. All the welds that you'll see, I'll use the Star Gold gas, which has nitrogen in it to make the welds look even prettier. And any of the other stuff, just to save costs, will just be argon. When you're welding aluminum, just straight argon. And then we got to switch the torch out to the aluminum setup from the steel setup, change some things around, change the program, weld her up.
Cool. So last time you guys watched me weld, Steve taught me. And he also watched me weld. And he got welder's flash.
It was my first day.
Took him to the hospital at 3 in the morning. It was a great time.
Needed the freezing drops.
Yeah. So this time I'm watching him weld, and I'm not going to make the same mistake.
Yeah, let's hope not. It's not fun.
No.
Close your eyes.
right, so he's got the 90s tacked. The next step is going to be to put in this second middle bar here that he has there. And we figured if we have to cut the front one, we also will have to cut this one. So
there's another one that goes here?
Yeah, that's the fender. It's labeled in here somewhere. Oh, yeah, those ones. And then that'll go across like so. Wow, look at that. It's practically a wall.
Look at that.
Look at that. So we're gonna have to cut both of these. So we're gonna test fit this on the trailer first to see how much we have to cut it, and then we can cut this bar before it actually goes onto the trailer.
Yes. Is that heavy?
No, very light.
Looks good behind the side-by-side.
There she be, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Look at that.
Ta-da!
Look at that. I'll just pick this up. Would you looky there? How's she looking?
I don't think it needs to be trimmed.
Wow. So I messed
We
up
lied-
measuring somewhere?
We lied to the people. She's level to the floor.
Wow, that's pretty damn good.
That's level.
So that's how high the main frame will be.
That's level.
All right. So we did something right then by accident. Maybe we did actually just follow the drawings.
Who knows?
Second guessing ourselves.
It's a new day.
It is a new day. So yeah, we thought because originally when I cut it, I thought it'd be flat, but it's not. But it works pretty darn well.
Look at your angles are bang on. You're
I
such
know.
a good saw operator.
Thank you so much. I learned from the best. So yeah, fits perfect. Don't need to cut anything. We should just be able to put the front bar
Should
in,
be
the
another-
fender bar, and then we're Gucci.
Maybe that bar is not the right length.
Maybe. Oh,
Ooh.
she's a little short.
Yeah, not gonna be able to fill that gap.
You're not that good of a welder?
That's not going to work.
Well then. What do we do, boss? Cut another bar?
You're gonna have to. Or lower the whole thing down, trim the ends and drop it.
So we did have to trim back here and up there a little bit. It was way out of whack because this...
That wasn't way out.
It wasn't way out of whack. It was out of whack. But this 35-inch bar was major gappy at the back and not so gappy at the front, but still not enough that we'd be able to fill it with weld. So we decided to fix it. Now she's pretty much equal.
She's within a 16th everywhere.
Yeah. So now we just have to figure out where this fender bar will land, how high we want that for our window, and then tack all that in.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
16 inches.
I think that's enough space. Should we double check that that enclosure at the front is right? You want to yell down to me what that's supposed to be? So we make sure everything fits before welding her together. Make sure the Dometic will fit.
What dimension do you want to know?
Width specifically. Height will be fine.
Should be around 22 inches.
It is like 21 3/4-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. So we looked it up, and it should fit either the 75 or 95. 95 might be a little tight, but 75 should be enough for what we're gonna do. So now we will fit the rest of the wall together. Mr. Fabricator over here.
I build stuff.
All tacked together. Go test her again. This is custom fab, guys. Especially with a prototype. Test it, cut it, tack it, cut it, test it.
Scrap it, start
Scrap.
over.
Burn the whole building to the ground. All right, all right.
Something like that.
Looks pretty darn good. So this window here, this is gonna be a box that we're gonna put like our kitchen in. And we wanted to make it so that this bar was kind of like a countertop height. I think we did a pretty damn good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this will flip down.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And then there'll be a fender here.
Yep. Let's explain how we're mounting the aluminum walls or upper frame to this steel chassis.
Oh, we're gonna put a aluminum plate that covers the whole bottom, and then there's gonna be holes in the aluminum, and then we're gonna drill into the steel chassis and crimp riv nuts in the chassis, and the aluminum is just gonna get welded to that plate, so then the whole floor, walls, roof, everything just gets set on the chassis and bolts into the riv nuts.
Yep. Yeah, so if anything happens, you need to replace the upper frame, you can do so. Yeah, I think it looks pretty darn good so far. So we took any changes we made on the first wall and marked them all down so we don't forget what it is. And now we've laid it out to make sure that it fits the bottom template. And Steve's gonna tack together the second wall. Making some progress.
Hey-ya!
Look at that maneuverability. My goodness, couldn't do that with steel.
Tricks. Ta-da!
It's looking good?
Yeah, fits pretty good.
Cool. So now it's all the crossbars that we have to put in along the top there.
And the roof.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that until the floor comes in though, so we can tack this down so it's not
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
flopping around.
That's a good point.
And then lots of welding. 'Cause
Lots of
we got to
welding.
put a bar here,
Yep.
the roof bars.
Yep. Probably one across the front once the frame is built.
Yeah, to
For
keep
rigidity.
the wall from
Yeah.
flapping.
And then the back door, we got to figure out what we're going to do with the back door. So we are having a little bit of a discussion. Let us know what you think. We got to make doors for this. We think we're going to have them set on the outside of the frame, but we don't know if we want them flat or if we want a bit of a detail to them. What would you guys do? Let us know. Drop a comment below, because that's the next design.
Same with the
Portion.
box.
Yep.
There'll be a door that flips down as like a table on both sides. This is gonna, imagine this being a big rectangular box that sticks out flush with the fender. And then the door flips down, so it'd come out to like here, so we could stand and prep things. And we can put like our Coleman barbecue and some food and whatever in the sides. So the door on that should probably match whatever we do for a door here.
Yeah. And
then
the back door.
The back is gonna be a swing door, and then it'll be a flat floor in here for storing like bigger items, like maybe your
Bins,
sleeping
chairs.
bags, bins, lawn
Yeah.
chairs.
Yeah.
And then the rooftop tent will be up top on a rack made out of this. It's bent, so there'll be a space between it to get the tent high enough and the awning high enough.
Yep.
And then you can put like a spare tire up there,
Yeah.
or
Anything you
a
want.
kayak or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you want to throw up there.
And then probably like a bit of a bumper here.
Yep.
And a winch if we need to pull the side-by-side backwards, or
Yep. Or the trailer itself if you want to unhook and
Yeah.
pull the trailer out.
anything.
Yep. So
I'm
we're trying to
thinking-
make use of the space the best we can.
Yeah, and we're thinking taillights vertical.
Yep.
Might put them down here, but I'm thinking vertical would look cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
is this it for the day? Get
I
back
think
at her
so.
another day?
Get the aluminum sheet from the laser. We
Yeah.
got to grind the frame, like all these welds got to get ground off.
Yep.
We got to lay the sheet down, mark out all the holes, and we got to drill all the holes. We got to put all the riv nuts in. Then we got to take the frame apart. We got to paint it, finish the back bumper, and then bolt the aluminum sheet down. Or we can bolt the sheet down and build the structure and then take it all apart. But
Yep. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
paint everything and then bolt it all back
And
together.
we had to redesign the hitch here, so we're waiting for some new plates for that.
Yeah,
That'll
it's going to
come
be a
in.
bit longer.
Yeah. But she's coming together. One Sunday at a time.
One,
Don't know if
like-
we'll use it this year, but
It's like 2 hours per Sunday at a time.
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
putting about 6 hours a month into this project.
yeah. We were thinking about using it. We're going to New York, the High Peaks Wilderness area at the end of the month. We're going to try and have it half-assed together by then and registered, but don't know about that. We'll see.
At the rate we're going, likely not.
We're trying.
Because that's 2 weeks from now.
3.
That gives us 4 hours.
We can do this in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Where did we leave off, and what are we showing everyone now?
Last time we built the walls, but we were still waiting for the aluminum floor to come in. So we got that in. What we're gonna do today is we're going to get the aluminum floor onto the chassis, and then we're gonna start getting the walls onto the aluminum floor, and then I think we can kind of build out the top frame portion, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
We were hoping to have this ready for a trip that we're going on Tuesday. Obviously, that didn't
ready.
happen. Oh yeah, just put the rooftop tent here and
It just needs a tongue.
good to go. Yeah, yeah.
We're
So we're doing the aluminum floor, upper frame, get it tacked together at least today, and then we gotta chop off the tongue here and put on the new tongue that Steve designed with some laser scanning, and then you built it in CAD. And yeah, so we're gonna get that welded on the front thing. Yeah, I mean, it fits the hitch, which is the important part.
It should fit the frame.
It should fit the frame. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. And then I think it's kind of mostly constructed, which is exciting.
Then all the details.
Then all the details.
Let's hope the floor fits.
Got the floor on, and it's almost like we designed it in the computer.
Oh, look.
And then, careful. And then
It's perfect.
and then made the chassis. And we made the chassis right because this is laser cut square, and she fits like a dream. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, we followed instructions.
No, we just guess.
We just guessed, yeah, that's what happened. So now take a paint marker, put paint marks in all of the holes, and then we're putting rivnets in those.
Yep.
To mount this to the chassis.
So in the future, if the design works really good, and we really like it, we probably won't cut all the tubing with a bandsaw here and then weld it all. We'll probably send the tubing to a tube laser. Because it's in the computer, I can pre-put all these holes in the tube, and when the sheet gets cut at one laser and the tube goes through another laser, we put it all together and all the holes line up and we just put the screws in. So
Man, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, since it's a prototype and we might end up changing cross members or making it 3 inches longer or doing things, for the first while we'll have to do it this way till we get everything the way we want it.
Yep.
And then you send it out and just laser everything, save all your time.
Man, that sounds lovely. So we took afternoon and we 3D scanned this bad boy. And then Steve went in CAD and we designed the hitch.
Yep.
So now we can test fit it and see if it works in reality.
So we got to cut the front of the trailer off, and then this is going to end up sitting in where this is. So this will get welded on, and it has 4 bolts to hold this on, and then the parking brake will go through the bottom of it, and we'll run the cables back so that when it's not hooked up and we're camping, we can just pull this parking brake. So this is all going to get cut off, and then that's going to get welded in. And this is the top fish plate that's going to tie it into the A-frame. So it's welded all the way around everywhere. So I got to cut all this out.
Looks pretty damn good. It's almost like you planned it.
Yeah, I drew it on a computer. It's like arts and crafts.
It's really cool. So if you guys have seen in other episodes, we designed this whole thing, well, Steve decided this whole thing in CAD first. And then we've just been following the CAD design to make this trailer. So it's actually really cool to kind of see it all come together.
I've been doing it every day for years, so I don't think it's that exciting, but
Yeah.
you're never out here to see it, and you're like, wow, you just drew that, and all of a sudden it's built. I'm like, yeah, it just comes off a table, and they cut it. It's just another day for me.
It's neat. It's cool. I'm enjoying it. It's like adults art and craft.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So Steve's gonna work on the hitch. He's gonna get that welded together, cut off the front, and I'm gonna start drilling all these little holes.
Yeah, so we'll give you a little pilot drill bit to get all little holes started.
Yep.
So it doesn't wander on you. And then once you've got everyone drilled out small, we'll give you the right size to fit the rivnets. Drill them all out to the right size. Then we'll take and blow out any of the chips, and then I'll give you the rivnet tool that crimps them and start putting the nuts in.
Cool.
Power tools. You ever watch Tim Allen? Tool Man Taylor? Oh.
Holes are drilled out. Now the roof nuts go in. I feel like you got the easy drilling job.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I hate drilling holes.
Like you said, tube cutter with laser holer.
Yes. That's what we need. What do you got there?
This is the Layback Lime and Salt by Athletic Brewing Co. So these guys are a craft non-alcoholic beer company out of the United States. They have delicious non-alcoholic beer.
It's awesome.
It's very good. This one specifically can taste more like a Bud Light Lime.
Yeah, pretty much exactly the same.
Oh, and it's so good for days like today's. It's 26 degrees outside. It's humid. We're sweating. But we wanted a beer, but we're doing things that require a bit of concentration. You don't really want to get too tipsy while you're holding a welder or
Debatable.
Or a drill. In my case, I'm not skilled to begin with, so go check them out. They're a craft beer company, so they have IPAs, they've got your hazies, they've got your darks. Athleticbrewing.ca or .com, or follow the link in the description below and use our code Offroad20 for 20% off your first order.
Dang, that's a good deal.
Yeah, get yourself some good-ass beer.
Awesome.
All right, so all the rib nuts are in. The hitch is on, bolted up. This thing is looking stout. What do you think?
It's good.
It's good.
Very good.
It's good.
It'll be wonderful to camp.
Yes. Now put the aluminum floors on and see what we can do with the walls.
What are you doing down there?
So rib nuts are on, floor is on. Make sure this is all matching. It's looking good. Put the bolts in it, and then we can start mounting the walls. Right, Steven?
Hi.
Would you look at that? Now I think we have to get the top crossbars in. Maybe?
Time for a drink?
Time for a drink. We haven't really eaten much today.
Time for food?
Sausages?
I got a sausage.
All right, Steve did some stitch welds on this, and we've decided to take it through the trails with the good old side-by-side here, since that's what it's designed for.
Trophy wife.
Trophy wife, yeah. So
Inside joke.
we figured we'd show you how this Cruise Master hitch works and why we decided to go for it.
It's freaking sweet. It's got
Yep.
a parking brake.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's a little dust cap, and there's a little button, and you got your little dildo here, and you just put this on there.
Family-friendly channel, Steve.
Oh, we gotta move this jack stand.
Oh.
Ooh. Good thing his trailer's light.
Yeah. And
Push
then you
this.
just locked and loaded, good to go.
Little
Not
test
going
lift.
anywhere. Yeah.
Good to go. Little caparoo.
Put that back on, you're done.
It should work wonderfully behind the side by side.
Yeah. So we're gonna go take it around the yard, and Steve's gonna follow me with the camera, and we're gonna put it through some things and see what happens.
Okay, now go. It should rattle less.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. I feel like I'm in a zoo. We're at Jurassic Park World. I can already tell this is going to have to make some changes. Well, you ripped around the yard.
Yeah, we took it up the jump, took it down the jump, took it through the trail. Suspension's a little stiff.
Very.
I think this might be suspension for a full-size trailer, which means we're gonna have to do some.
It's their lightest suspension, and I think
That's their lightest.
yeah.
Ooh. We're gonna have to do some work, I think.
Yeah.
Either take some shocks off or change out the spring to a way lighter spring, because Steve was sitting in back here and it was still pretty bouncy.
It doesn't move.
No.
The shocks don't move, the springs don't
Yeah.
move. Like that thing's set up for thousands of pounds.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do some work, I'm sure, once we get all the weight in it, finally figured out. But like, it handles really well. Like going up the jump, it's hard to tell on camera, but that jump is like to my waist at least. And
Yeah, it's like 3 feet.
yeah, and it went up at no problem, didn't hit the frame at the front, so I think it's a good design.
Didn't hit the frame at the back.
Didn't hit the frame at the back, which was one thing we really were, that's what we wanted to do with this kick up at the back, was make sure that we had a really good departure angle. So I think that's where we're gonna end the video for today. From here on out, I think we have a lot of design work to do, and then we have to install the side boxes, do the lights, just a lot of detail work. So not sure what the next video is gonna entail, maybe skinning it, doing the subfloor, because we will be putting a subfloor in here and then a water tank below. I think we're gonna make it up as we go along from here on out.
Mostly.
Yeah, mostly. We're getting there though.
But anytime though, we got a trip, we're going
Yeah.
to Moab. So
Yeah,
probably won't have an update on this in months.
we'll see what happens. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, press the bell, as they say. And yeah, till next time.
Thanks guys, see ya.